You've opened up the Powers Playbook with insights to family, wealth, and real estate.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Powers Playbook. This is your host, Aaron Powers, and we want to welcome you to another show. The play we're running today, we are going to be ongoing. We're going to be doing it once a month forever, and it's going to be our Henderson Vegas market and lifestyle update. So we're going to do it once a month, and really what we're going to focus on is a few things. One, we're always going to do a market update. We got to keep you up to date with what's going on in real estate in our area. Two, we're going to talk about like what's happening in Vegas, like what's coming next month. By the way, the month of March is nuts in Las Vegas, so you'll hear all about that. Kind of like an entertainment, sports, event, just perspective of like what we're offering for all of those who are visiting. You may have friends and family coming, just what's going on. Maybe you want to take your wife out to a nice date night, hit a concert. Maybe I'm just talking to myself, but hopefully you'll get some value out of that. And then lastly, today we're going to talk about why Henderson specifically. What does it have to offer for your family? And just overall, what are the good points about why somebody would choose to move to Henderson? Just for knowledge for you real quick, I live in Henderson and operate my office out of the Henderson area. So I would like to say I'm pretty much an expert in the Henderson area for the most part. We do operate out of Vegas, North Las Vegas, all of that for our real estate business. But Henderson is really the bread and butter of what we do every day. So, all right, let's get into the market. The market, real estate market, Vegas and Henderson is moving. We're picking up a little bit, starting to move a little bit quicker. We're in a tale of different markets, I would say. And what I mean by that is like your price point matters, right? So if you're looking at 500 or below, it's a completely different market than 500 or above. And we have a little bit more inventory than we had in previous years. Inventory numbers, supply has actually gone down a little bit since the year started. And the reason why is we're selling a little bit more homes than we were in, say, November, December, holiday season. So, kind of normal progression, I would say. And so because of that, we are a little bit more heavy on supply over 500,000 than we are under. So under, we're going to have a little bit, we're going to have to move a little quicker. We still have maybe slight chance of multiple offers, although not happening, very much in our market right now. So the buyer still has a really good choice, can still get pretty good terms most of the time. I would say the majority of our contracts are offering some sort of closing costs or help from the seller to the buyer. So that is, good if you're out there shopping. Rates are pretty consistent, not a huge change there. I really don't foresee a huge change in rates this year in general. They may trickle down, but be careful if what you're reading or hearing in the news is like interest rates are going down. It's not going to make a huge difference for you, in my opinion, in your buying power, unless there's some sort of, specific loan program that we can take advantage of. Over 500,000, there is more inventory. You got a little bit more to choose from. And, there's obviously not as many, price goes up, not as many people are available or can afford the houses there. So a lot more options in that area, I would say. But supply and demand or the market in general really depends also on like what you're looking for. So for instance, we just got a really great couple of ours, clients into contract, and they were looking for something really specific. They wanted it to have RV parking, and it needed to have a certain lot size, and they wanted a pool, and it had to have an area where they wanted a certain school district, or school zone, I should say, not school district. But in that, we looked for a long time. And so we recently found a house that worked really well for them, and we didn't really negotiate a whole lot on terms. We just went for the house because it's exactly what they wanted. The market in general could also depend on what you're looking at specifically. But overall, the market is still moving well. Still plenty of homes being bought and sold. If it's sitting for a long period of time, it's probably the price. So don't be afraid if you are buying to look at something that's been on the market for a while. Maybe you can get a better deal on that home as long as you're, it's probably a reason it's been out there, though. It's going to need probably some work or, an adjustment of some sort. So keep that in mind. And on the selling side, if you've been sitting around for a while on the market, Again, there's probably a reason why, and it's more than likely the price. So we have to, remember, are we looking for a sale to happen right away? Does it need to be quicker? Do we have the time? Can we be patient and wait for our price? The market will tell you that, and after so long, we are going to be forced to adjust something. That's your market update, and we'll jump in again next month, have some more data for you, like some more points of what's actually ongoing and what's changing. I want to flip into now, kind of get into our what's happening in Vegas. But I want to start with actually an experience that we just had. So my wife and my daughter and my stepbrother and his mom and we all went to the Sphere recently. We saw the Wizard of Oz show, and super cool. First experience at the Sphere. So if you haven't been, I highly recommend it. When you walk in there, I was looking around and I felt like I was in, like a queue at Disneyland, like waiting for a ride. Like it's just spectacular how they built the place. Is really neat. The show in general, just the screen, the immersive experience is super cool. So just wanted to start there, give you a little review on it. Definitely recommend going. We sat in the 300 section, which, is not the highest, but it's high. And if you're just, looking at the screen, you can pretty much sit anywhere in there. Honestly, it's pretty good. If I was going for a concert or something like that, I think I may try to sit in the 100 or 200s, like just a little bit lower, so that I'm able to see, the actual people on stage and that type of thing. So, but we will be back because my wonderful wife bought No Doubt tickets, and they're at Sphere in May. So look out for that. That'll be coming to you rather soon. So we're going to jump in now. I'm going to pull out some notes, and we are going to talk about what's coming to Vegas. So in March, so this will all be for the month of March. So we're always going to forecast what's coming. That way you can prepare, get tickets, invite your friends, whatever you're coming for. So in March, you got 2 events at the Sphere. One is the Eagles, and the other is Millennium. So maybe some Hotel California and sing along. I'm sure the visuals for Millennium as well will be pretty fantastic. So that's the Sphere. At the Coliseum in March, Jennifer Lopez will be there. So a little Jenny from the block, or J-Lo, as her friends like to call her. She's pretty busy, but she'll be at the Coliseum in March. Allegiant Stadium, for all of you country fans out there, Luke Combs will be at Allegiant Stadium March 21st. Should be a pretty cool show. Luke has an awesome voice, definitely really established country artist for sure. Wanted to give kudos. Super Bowl just happened. Congrats to the Seattle Seahawks for winning the Super Bowl. I'm still a little salty that the Broncos did not make it. As you can see, I am a Broncos fan. So when the Las Vegas football team starts playing, we'll tell you who's coming. I guess we have to report news on the Raiders because this is about Henderson and Vegas. But we're always gonna go Broncos first on this show. So just to let you know. By the way, Vegas has a really large Broncos fan base out in Vegas. So if you want to look us up, come and say hi. Plenty of Broncos fans out here in Vegas. I do my best to go to that one Raiders game every year so I can see the Broncos. And we'll be looking forward to next year. Should be a good NFL season coming. Some interesting changes for the Raiders too. They just hired a brand new head coach who was the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. And he's going to be their new coach, Clint Kubiak. And they have the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft coming up. And there may be a guy that just won the national championship who might be the number 1 pick. That would be their new quarterback. So that should be pretty interesting as well. So we'll jump into sports a little bit. Again, congrats to the Seahawks, as much as it pains me to say. Fun fact for you guys. Last time the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, the Broncos won it 2 years later. So, hey, we'll be looking for that. Coming to Vegas in March to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, NASCAR is coming. So the Pennzoil 400 will be on March 15th. As my wonderful colleague David said, one of the few times that you can crack a beer at 7 a.m. and it's just all part of the plan. So if you're coming, I know there's a huge following that will be in Vegas for NASCAR that weekend. So welcome to all of you guys. Going into the Golden Knights. So our professional hockey team here in Vegas, they play at the T-Mobile Arena. The teams that are coming to visit the Knights that will actually play them at T-Mobile are as follows. Minnesota Wild. Edmonton Oilers will be here twice. Once towards the beginning, once at the end of the month. The Pittsburgh Penguins are coming. Chicago Blackhawks. Buffalo Sabres. The Utah Mammoth. New name, still getting used to that one. The Washington Capitals and the Vancouver Canucks will all be visiting the Knights in the month of March. So if you wanted to come to Vegas, see your team, or have some people you want to invite, or if your team is one of those. By the way, I am not a I shouldn't say that. I am a Knights fan, but second. I am a Colorado Avalanche fan first. So we'll throw that out there. I'll try to give you all my allegiances so you can either, go root for or against me. But in my defense, the Knights were not around when I was a kid, so I'm loyal to all my teams. Got to stay that way. So, but that is the Knights schedule coming up. Get into a really cool event that's actually happening locally in Henderson in the month of March. They do this every year. It's really cool. Taking the family before, very family friendly. It's totally free. And it's the St. Patrick's Day Festival and Parade. It's in downtown Henderson on Water Street. And it happens March 13th to 15th. And like I said, it's totally free. If you want to look that up, either through the City of Henderson website or the festival itself, it'll tell you there's different events happening each day. They do the parade one day. They do the St. Baldrick's Foundation where everybody shaves their head and donates hair. That one's always really cool. I've had some friends that have done that over the years. And so it's just a bunch of fun events down on Water Street. You can walk up and down. They have food trucks and all kinds of fun for the family. So that's a really good one. Which brings me in to kind of the overall content for today's show, which is why Henderson, right? Like, why would you choose that over, let's say, Las Vegas or North Las Vegas or, all the different neighborhoods such as Summerlin or anything else. So I wanted to kind of just give you a breakdown of why we enjoy it. So Henderson is really family friendly. It's got some of the best rated schools for elementary, middle, and high school in all of the Las Vegas Valley. So that's one big reason I've had families over the years that will choose where they live specifically to be zoned for, that specific school. So that's a big draw. We've got a lot of really highly established neighborhoods in Henderson. We've got probably the most one you'll hear the most is Green Valley, right? We've got Green Valley. Now we have Green Valley North, Green Valley South, and Green Valley Ranch because they've just added on over the years. But Green Valley is a great area. Like I said, there's highly rated schools. There's a really great shopping area called the District, which is kind of like an outdoor mixed use area. It's connected to the Green Valley Ranch Casino as well. Pretty much everything in Vegas is attached to a casino, which you'll start to kind of hear over time. But that area, the District, is really nice. There's shopping. There is actually condos above the shopping that you can purchase. Really interesting, like lifestyle choice for those who are, kind of in and out, want to walk down, get whatever they want. It's almost like a big city New York feel, but in a really small environment. Kind of cool for sure for that. That District area brings a lot as far as shopping. Also restaurants, a lot of great restaurants in that area. We've also got some really high-end luxury properties and neighborhoods in Henderson as well. Starting with McDonald Highlands, completely guard gated, built around the Dragon Ridge Golf Course, which is a private course. You've got the Anthem area that hosts Anthem Country Club, which is also built around the private Anthem Country Club golf course. And then up into the top of Anthem, you get into Sun City, which is a 55 and older neighborhood, really popular for families that will move, have their parents there if they're older, really easy back and forth. McDonald Ranch has a Sun City community as well. We've got Askaya in that area, which is like primo luxury. Talking the land in Askaya alone is generally in the couple $1 million just for the land itself. So some really high-end stuff in Henderson that's very competitive with those in, let's say, the Summerlin area or Las Vegas in general. We got some other master plan communities, such as Cadence is a new one out on the more east side of Henderson, which is then connected to Tuscany, which is where we are, which is also guard gated, built around Chimera Golf Course. That one's public, but really nice public golf course if you haven't been. That connects you all the way out to Lake Las Vegas, which is another master planned area and community. And they've got everything in there, from, residential property to they have a Sun City 55 and older area out there. They have Blue Heron homes out there, which are in the upwards of $2 to $3 million. So in Henderson, you can kind of have just about everything from the context of, you can purchase a condo for, as little as $200,000 to $250,000 all the way up to your multi-million-dollar, single family house. So has a lot to offer in that sense. The city of Henderson does an amazing job with the parks. They manage all the parks in Henderson, the city of Henderson. They manage the libraries as well. So lots of good things you can do. They have calendars. You can take kids. They have different events that they'll do on the weekends. And so that's really neat as well. On Water Street in Henderson, which is where the downtown Henderson is, it's where City Hall is. They've really revamped that area. You can walk up and down, lots of really good places to eat. They also have the big ice skating rink out there, which is always really fun. This is where you can go. They'll teach kids how to skate. That's where they start them in hockey. That's a pretty cool arena out there next to City Hall if you're in that area. That is exactly on Water Street where the St. Patrick's Day parade that I told you about is going to be. They do art festivals there, all different kinds of things that will update you, over the months as what's going on specifically. So those are just some of like kind of the neighborhoods, different areas of Henderson, that you can get to. There's another like main road in Henderson that everybody knows, Eastern Avenue. And Eastern holds a ton up and down commercial shopping, restaurants. That's kind of your gateway into Anthem at the top. And then probably the newest, one of the newest areas as well as Cadence would be called Inspirada. Inspirada is in the south part of Henderson. They're still building. So brand new builds out there. Great place to go up and get views and hike and have some more, things to do outdoors as well. That's another thing. There's a lot of biking, hiking just outdoors available in Henderson. Some great ways to get outside and get out with the family. It's also, other than Boulder City, it's your closest way to get to Lake Mead. So if being on the water is important to you, boating, water sports, fishing, any of that kind of thing, and you want to be close to Lake Mead, the city of Henderson would get you about as close as you can go unless you want to live in Boulder City. Kind of different feel out there, more old school, like small town feel. But Boulder City is really neat too. Just not exactly the bigger city, closer commute style that you're looking for. Henderson in general, up and down is all basically right off of the 215 freeway here in town. So you can get to just about anywhere you need to go to. The airport in general is probably 15 to 20 minutes away. At the most, it's not a huge change to commute to it. So that would be, an option for you as well as far as how to get back and forth. As far as the city is concerned, the city of Henderson is part of the Las Vegas Valley as a whole. And if you're looking on a map, it is the south, like direct south to southeast part of the Las Vegas Valley. right? So you're going to always be in the southern part of town. You know, people in Vegas, like old school Vegas, Henderson used to feel so far away. They call it Hendertucky. So that's like a, a fun common term that sometimes people will call it if they're not familiar with Henderson. But Henderson is a huge city. It has a lot to offer. Major hospitals, and you know, pretty much anything you need, you can get there. You're not having to travel into Vegas really for much of anything other than, like I said, probably the airport. Otherwise, Henderson's got it all. So those are just kind of some of the areas, reasons that we enjoy it. You know, great to be outside when we can. You know, sunny days most of the time, and very enjoyable. Henderson does also have, I wanted to point out, a local arena in the Green Valley area. It's called the Lees Family Forum. A lot of really cool, like smaller family-oriented events. We took the kids to see Paw Patrol live there one time. So any Paw Patrol fans out there? They had a really fun time with that. Danny Go visited last year. If you have kids, you know who Danny Go is. Trust me. So things like that, like they'll have shows, much, you know, kid friendly. There's a couple of teams that play out of their regular. So the Henderson Silver Knights, which is in the American Hockey League. It's like the minor league affiliate basically of the Golden Knights. They play all their games out of the Lees Family Forum. It's a lot of fun. You know, you can get a lot closer to the action. Tickets don't cost as much. And that's a lot of fun to go to. There's also the Las Vegas Desert Dogs that play out of that arena. They are our local lacrosse team. And I have not been to that, but I've heard that it's a lot of fun. David, who is one of my partners, he said that that's a really good time. They play music the whole time, and that they had a lot of fun going to that. So it's a professional lacrosse league. Also that plays out of there, not running right now. I believe they're back in April, if I'm not mistaken. But there's an indoor football team as well that plays out of that arena also. And so, you know, lots of different things to offer locally that you can go and see. I know that the district specifically has a farmer's market that they operate, and I believe it's in the middle of the week. I don't have the exact day, but if you want to look that up, there's all kinds of, you know, walkable, family-friendly items that you can do in Henderson. So that's our kind of just overall, you know, Henderson outlook, what it has to offer. We'll go into more specifics as far as like, you know, we'll do one that's like just the parks or just the golf courses or, you know, just the places that you can go and play soccer. They have aquatic centers, like all kinds of information that we can share with you. We just wanted to give you kind of an overview of why people choose it, what it has to offer. So if you're like, you know, hey, I've heard about Vegas, but like, where the heck is Henderson? It'll kind of give you, you know, a rough idea of what you're looking at. So if you are, you know, planning to make a move this way or just want some generalized information that we can help you with, if it's anything involving Henderson real estate, just shoot us an email, info@powersre.com. And we'll be happy to respond to you there, can share information and anything that you need, even if you're, you know, 3 years out, but thinking about relocating. So we're happy to share any information we can. And otherwise, thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back on the next show soon, and we'll talk to you then. Love you guys.